fully kept us in the game. It was a game of special teams, obviously. I don't know how many of the goals were power play goals, but I think most of them. There were times I thought our team played well, but they're a real good team. And these are the kind of teams that you hope get to play again this year.
Any questions?
Obviously, the second period, you guys had a lot of penalties. Talk about how much play specifically in that during those 5-on-3s where he had to step up and make a little bit.
Well, that's when you really need your goalie, and you know, he was as good as it gets. But still, they found a way to, you know, get one behind him. Key goals. It was hard. Goals were precious tonight, and from our standpoint, you can't take those penalties, or you hope they don't call them. But you know, that's part of the game. We got 4 out of 5 penalties were on Michigan in the second period, and that just changes the whole momentum of the game.
Can you talk about the play of Scooter Vaughn? Seemed like he was just all over the ice tonight.
Scooter had a good game. Good for him. Yeah, he played well. He scored the first goal, and you know, he's a good skater. And I think a big rink like this lends itself to a kid that can really skate.
And what happened in the third period? They came out and kind of controlled the play for a while there.
Well, it was one of those games you're going to play in one end or the other, and I thought their top players were definitely their top players, and they, you know, they were at their best in the third period.
With Matt Rose back in the lap, how do you think his line just fared? Just having
they played pretty well. They played well. It was, you know, they played a lot against the top line. Is it DiMassone's line?
Yeah.
DeSimone. I mean, they played against that line, so you're playing against one of the top lines in college hockey.
Lucky game. It was 2 good teams that went at it. A lot of good things happened. And I was very pleased with the way the team played. Obviously, our lines, I just think everybody contributed to a lot of good things happened tonight, except for the shot end. I took the blame for that one. We always play aggressive, and until the team can prove they can move the puck, we go after them real hard on shot end. And after 2, I should have quit and said, you know what, we're not going after them anymore. But so when they scored that third one, it was a great play on their part. They could really move the puck. But I'm pleased. Obviously, we had a chance to win it. The goalie played well, Matt played well, and it was great having them out here. It was great to have them come out here. It's a tremendous program with a lot of history, and to have them come in the WIT, and I thought the fans were great tonight, and hopefully Michigan enjoyed playing here in Durham against UNH, because we enjoyed playing against them.
Seemed like you guys were always playing catch up until at the end, and of course you had 5 minutes left to go in the third period, and got a chance to take a timeout. What'd you say to the kids?
Well, I took the timeout just to put our first line back out there when we had the foot, and they, you know, just give them rest because they can create, and, which in fact they did. Phil DeSimone made an absolutely fabulous play to Thompson, and you know, that tied it up. So that's what the timeout was for.
And while they were in the second period, there were some shots that didn't find the mark. He certainly took advantage of that one.
Yeah, he, you know, it was, their goalie played well. I mean, he scrambled extremely well when we had our chances to score in the second period and the third period. So I'm pleased with the way our team competed tonight. They competed real hard. We played physical. We moved the puck pretty well, and hopefully we just keep getting a little bit better.
4-on-3, we knew our power play was, we were working it pretty well all night, but obviously had nothing to show for it, and we knew that was the time that we had to tie that game up. That was maybe going to be one of our last opportunities. Phil made a great play on the break-in, just made a great pass to me, and was lucky to be in the right spot and just put it home there.
What happened to you? Did you call for that, or you just knew where you were?
I think he just saw me coming. He just passed it right before he got behind the net, so it caught the goalie a little off guard, and all I had to do was put it in there.
And would it go?
I think it went low blocker, so back against the grain. So you think he was still looking at Phil, I think. So as long as I hit the net, I think it was going in.
Overall, you had a lot of chances. Had some chances earlier in the game too. Stuff like that's must have been nice to get that one.
No, it was nice to get the second one there too. I think with when Phil buried, it was just a hard-working goal going to the net. All 3 of us had something to do with that. So getting one is just it gets the confidence going and just lets us get more in the flow of the game.
Coach Berenson is saying that sometimes it's almost easier to play a 4-on-3 as opposed to a 5-on-3, and you ended up scoring on the 4-on-3 3. Would you agree with that? Or?
I think so. Sometimes it takes only one less option, just more space for the 4 guys to move around more. And that wasn't so much of a setting up there; it was more off the rush. But I think when you set up on a 4-on-3, it's sometimes easier, just a little more room.
But it did seem like, Paul, when you were playing in 5-on-5 situations or even on your power play, their defense was able to kind of just take away a lot of shots, block a lot of shots. Was it nice to get a little extra space and know you could have some freedom to move?
Yeah, I think so. I think some guys were getting frustrated. We had a lot of really grade A opportunities, I think, but they block shots better than any team we've played since I've been here, I think, or right up there. They had big bodies in front of the net and weren't giving us second opportunities too much, and when we did, they barely ever made it back to the net. They were so good at just getting in the shot lanes.
What about overall with this meeting? I mean, you guys have talked about wanting to get off to a better start than last year, so now you split on the road. You got a good tie here and stuff, so you can be happy with the winnings, not so far.
I think so. 1-1-1 is where we're at right now, and coming into the season, playing 2 of the top 5 teams in the country, I think we can be happy with that. We would have liked to have tonight, but I mean, they're a very good team, and coming from behind, I think we're happy with where we're at right now with the tie.
Did Coach say anything in particular to you guys in between the first and the second period? It seemed like you guys were a little more sluggish in the first, and then, maybe it was a couple penalties in the second on them that kind of jolted you guys, and you guys kind of woke up after that. Is that how it was, or?
Yeah, he was more encouraging. I think in the first there we played pretty good in the first 10 minutes and not our best in the last 10. Guys are not getting on each other, but just a couple of seniors are just letting guys know we got to play more focused. We weren't playing a smart game. We were making a lot of just simple mistakes that shouldn't be made and giving them a lot of opportunities. So we knew we just had to play better and just play our game and try to just do the simple things right.
Probably they get down. You kept getting down and kept having to fight from behind. You can be happy with the way that went.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to be fighting back the whole game, but I think we played well and showed some resilience, especially early in the year. And it's good to show that we can come back when we're down and not give up.
Is this the type of game you kind of expected from Michigan, kind of back and forth type thing, low scoring?
Yeah, I mean, we know they're going to be a great team. I think we were talking about how good their forwards are, good D, good goal. I mean, it's the top 3 team in the country, and so we wanted to come out and play hard, and I think we did a good job. This is one of the best games we've played since I've been here as a team, and so I think that's saying something, putting up 50 shots the way we did, and it's a real positive early in the year.
Putting up all those shots, what can you say about their goalie limiting you guys to 3 goals?
Well, we played well. I know a bunch of us have a couple we'd like to have back there. I had one in OT late in the overtime. They made a great save on him, and everyone would love to have that one back. But I think we did a nice job of finishing, but he came up big sometimes too. So.
And Coach talked about that shot. Can you take us through that? Did that hit the post, or was it stopped, or what happened there?
It was in the spot. It's quick, and I just tried to fire it on net, and I thought I had that open side. I think he might have got his pad on it. Either way, it's good play, but by our line and good opportunity, but unfortunately it didn't go in.
That being said, Matt also had a great game in net, and he stopped a couple of key saves, like a 3-on-0 shorthanded attempt. Can you talk about his play a little bit and how he's been for you guys?
Yeah, that was a crazy play. 3-on-0, you don't see that often, but yeah, he made a huge save. That was a huge turning point in the game because if they would have scored that shorthanded goal, that would have been really deflated our tires a lot. So, he's been everything that we expected to be. And he's answered all the questions I think that the media and everyone has posed to him. So I think we're real proud of him and excited with the way he's playing.
And it's tough early. You have one shot at a hockey's team next week anyway. We obviously take tonight, tomorrow, enjoy this, but getting to play Northeastern, getting to kind of establish yourself in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year we were battling the league because we had a tough go out of conference. So I think we're pretty excited with the way we've 2 of the top 3 teams in the country, and we come out 1-1-1 in the first 3. So we're excited to get to the Hockey East and hopefully show what we can do there. And I think they've won 3 of the last 4 Hockey East championships, and that's obviously our goal every year. So we're excited to get started on that.